Computer audio. There we go, that.
Chief, did you have anything to present in the meeting, or would you like to be in attendee mode?
I don't really have anything to go over. I was curious about the COVID stimulus money. Are we getting any of that, or because I know Granger keeps telling me they're getting like 700,000.
We can talk about that at another time, or I can talk about it in my staff reports. How about that?
Well, I don't know why we can't talk about it in public.
Because we're on YouTube Live. We're not going to get any of that money until at least June will be the first infusion of money to the cities. But at this time, they haven't even released any information on exactly how we can use it.
And I know you were talking about the EMS. The fire chief, I don't think he was telling me he did have some stuff that he needed to purchase. Like he had some equipment and stuff. I know he's not here right now, but do you remember what it was that he was?
Yeah, he has some equipment that he needs to purchase that we're hoping to be able to use some of that COVID money for. But we will let the mayor take over.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start the city council meeting for Tuesday, April 27, 2021 at 7:04. Stand for the pledge. Take a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Here.
Councilmember Sotelo.
Here.
Councilmember Zavala.
Here.
Councilmember De La Fuente.
Here. And Councilmember Gorno called in with an excuse. He had to work. Okay. I need somebody to vote on the meeting. Oh,
No, we have to make a motion to excuse.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to make a motion to accept his.
I make a motion to excuse Mark Gorno because he had to work tonight.
Okay, I have a motion by Sophie and seconded by Tootie. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion approved. Now we need to vote on the meeting agenda, please.
Make a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Second motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Sophie and seconded by Vera. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion approved. Visitors' comments. Do we have any visitors online, Jameson?
We have not had any requests for resident comments, no.
Thank you. We need to vote in the consent agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda A through D.
Second motion.
I have a motion by Sophie, seconded by Diana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. Okay, there is no old business. New business, first quarter financial report, page 22.
And I am going to go ahead and share my screen so that it'll be on the video. So in front of you on page 22 starts the first quarter financial report. So we're starting with revenues just to kind of give you an idea of where we are at. for our first quarter. So obviously the first quarter is 25% of the budget. So the very light green line there shows 25% of the budget, just to kind of give you an idea of where we should be at. The light blue line shows 2020 actuals. So that's where we were at this time in 2020. And then we're the bright green line. So our general fund is actually doing pretty good so far this year. We did get a little bit more property tax in than we usually do by this time, though our next biggest property tax infusion is actually this next month. So that'll be when we get the vast majority of our property tax for the year. I do have some notes down here just showing why some of the funds are higher than others. Or a little disjointed, like the water fund is obviously well below the 25%, but that's because we have a big capital project going on in that department. And same with the city street fund. We have several capital projects going on in that department as well. Our water and sewer revenues are a little lower than usual. And I do think, unfortunately, that is due to some of the unpaid utility bills with the whole COVID prohibition on shutoffs and late fees.
So Jameson, I want to just stop you there. So the actual water we've received is 144,309, and what we have budgeted is 320,950. Is that correct?
Well, what we have budgeted for the year is 1.2 million, but 320 is just a quarter of that. So kind of give you a guideline. With the capital project in there, it does skew that number a little bit.
Right.
Because we haven't received any of that funding from capital projects yet. So are there any other questions on revenues? So our next page 23 is our expenditures. So once again, same thing. The light blue line is the 2020 to compare to last year. The green line is 25% of the budget. So our general fund expenditures are actually lower than they were last year. Some of that is due to some open staff positions, but that number should be jumping back up as we have those positions getting filled. You can see one thing of note is our cemetery fund has had quite a lot of revenue to this point this year, which is good news for the cemetery fund, that we have a lot of sales of graves. Let's see. Our water and sewer funds are both are spending more than we're projected. We have had some serious repairs that we've had to do in those two funds already so far this year. So a lot of that has to do with that. Some pump repairs and some line repairs in the water department. So unfortunately, that happens from time to time. So hopefully we'll be able to save a little more money down the road. Anybody have any other questions on expenditures?
Nope, don't think so.
All right. So this is our total cash and investment for the end of March, which is the end of the first quarter. So this chart at the bottom shows each fund and sort of whether it went up or down. Blue goes up, red goes down for the total fund balance. And so we have spent 69,000 more than we've brought in so far this year, but that is not atypical for first quarter, just because of the time of the year with revenues and when we receive them. So far we're on track.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, guys? No? Sophie? No? Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Jameson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next would be approval of ordinance number 2021-1171, an ordinance of the City of Mapton amending Mapton Municipal Code Chapter 2.04, to adjusting provisions for the city council members' compensation and adding additional provisions for the mayor and mayor pro temp. Okay, guys, now we sort of need your input.
That 240s and 260s.
So right now the question is the council members' rate of pay going to go up $60? And for the record, it won't go up to these council members. It will go up when new council members are voted in. None of this takes place today. Everything will take place as a new person comes in the door. That new person will get these wages, not the people sitting in front of you today. Well, maybe if they're
Unless
voted
they're
in.
To the next election.
Right, if they're voted through the next election, then they will. But as of right now, these numbers are for newly elected people coming in, okay? And so the question is do we want to keep the compensation for the council members at $40 a meeting? Or do we want to raise that compensation to $60 a meeting? We've had some discussion, and so should we just,
There's 2 for 60 and 240. It's there on the record.
but we have to sort of put it on vote, right?
Right.
To legalize it.
Mhm.
So we'll go ahead and vote that in.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead and vote on that now. So, so all in favor of,
Is that what it is?
Oh,
now?
is that the way it
I'm sorry.
works?
I'm sorry.
40 right now.
It's 40.
it's
right
40
now.
right now. Mhm. So all in favor of raising the compensation for the council members to $60 a month, right?
Right. Now vote.
Let's vote on that. So how I would put,
So you would ask each council member.
okay.
Okay.
So Diana,
I vote for 60.
Sophie,
No,
no, 40, Vera,
60.
Judy, 60. Okay.
But
so
then
everybody-
also Sophie, you're gonna put on the record what Mark?
oh yeah, Mark had said 40.
Right, I remember
Okay.
last time Mark had said 40
Okay.
for the record. So it would be 3 for 60 and 2 for 40.
Okay.
So then now we vote it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it would be like make a motion
What's the
to,
ordinance number?
okay,
Someone's gonna make a motion to do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So someone needs to make a motion to change the
Adopt.
council members' compensation to $60 a month.
I do so.
Okay, so I have a motion by Vera. And a second by Tootie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
And I will put on here as well, Mark.
And also for the record, the dollar amount for the mayor
And the dollar amount will be $60.
and then the mayor.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and go to the mayor's portion of this. Right now, the mayor is receiving $1,000 a month. The mayor's compensation shall be $700 a month, regardless of attendance.
But the motion, you guys already adopted the ordinance, Mayor. You're just putting it on the record,
Okay.
the information.
Okay.
And the mayor pro tem.
And then the mayor pro tem shall receive an additional $20 per month for the year they are appointed per meeting.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm. Right.
Okay. Let me just write this down. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now we'll go to C, approval of resolution 2021-07, authorizing mayor to award the Washington Street Overlay Project to Wheeler's Excavation.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2021-07.
I have a motion by Sophie, seconded by Tootie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. And last, approval of contract for wastewater testing and services between the city of Mapton and Randall Peters.
I make a motion to approve the contract for wastewater testing and services between the city of Mapleton and Randall Peters.
Second the motion.
Thank you. I have a motion by Sophie, seconded by Diana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved.
Mayor,
Thank you.
additional?
And additional. So that would be this last thing, guys. That would be E.
Oh, shoot. We forgot about you.
Mhm.
Okay, so this one is also for our Washington Street overlay. So this is approval of the construction engineering supplemental agreement between Gray and Osborne Inc. for the Washington Street overlay project in the amount of $37,600.
I make a motion to approve the construction engineering supplement agreement with Gray and Osborne for the Washington Street overlay project.
I have a motion by Sophie, seconded by Vera. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion approved. All right. Staff reports. Chief, do you have anything for us tonight?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about possibly at the next council meeting, I'd like to give Officer Martin a life-saving award. I know we had talked about it a few months ago, but it's taken like 5 or 6 months or something just to get that medal in. But I definitely want at the next council meeting recognize him and make sure everybody knows what he did, that he went above and beyond to save someone's life. And I just got the medals in recently. So that's all. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention, that I want to bring that up at the next council meeting.
Okay,
That'd be nice.
that's awesome. Okay. Jameson, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I did. I just wanted to share with the council that we had another organization reach out to us that has offered to assist some of our residents with utility and rental assistance. They're called Nuestra Casa out of Sunnyside, and they have been working with some of our residents to pay some of their outstanding utility bills due to the COVID crisis. So it's just another organization that we've been able to work with. And we would like to thank them very much for coming to our
Very
community.
much. Thank you very much. Nuestras Casa out of Sunnyside. Sylvia, do you have anything?
Yes, I just want to remind this council members regarding the cemetery. This is a busy time for the cemetery, and so the guys just wanted to remind you guys that on Tuesday they'll be cleaning the cemetery. So this just spread the word.
Okay, there is just one thing I want to bring up. I really feel that I need to just tell you guys what we're doing before it gets implemented. So as you know, last year, 2 years ago, we decided to go away from having people on call for the city on the weekends because it was costing us quite a bit of money to do that. But we've been having some emergency situations come up on the weekends, and I'm having a really difficult time like getting people into getting staff in to help because there's no one on call. So we are going to start implementing the on-call thing again. We're going to give them their 2 weeks notice because we have to do that before we can change their schedule at all. But from here on out, our guys will be on call on Saturdays and Sundays. We had another water break Saturday, and it was pretty stressful for me because none of my public works was available. Thank goodness I have 2D, and I just want to thank you, 2D. Thank you, dude. You don't even know how, I mean, I was so stressed Saturday and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And so I ended up calling a company that we've used in the past to come and fix the break for us. It's going to cost us a lot. And so I think that for us and our budget, and for just the person that's sitting here that gets the phone call, it's better to just have an employee on call and pay them those 2 hours a day, even though most of the time they won't get called out. But I mean, we've had like back to back to back stuff happen, every weekend, and so, or a lot of weekends here recently. So we need to get the stress off of us and onto our public works where it should be.
What
And
happened
so-
to the way you guys were doing it, where you would have somebody working on Saturday? Did that go away?
That went away. That
Oh,
went away
yeah.
because we only have, I mean, literally, we were down to 3 employees, three public works for a while. One of our public works was out due to illness, and we're still looking for one. And so we only have 3 guys, and we was putting one guy coming in on Saturdays. But if there's an emergency, you can't have one guy. You have to have 2. And so I know if I put, I am very confident that if we do put somebody on call on the weekend and there's an issue, that person will be able to get a second employee to come in with them. Much easier than I can get an employee to come in. And so we are going to start implementing that here in the next 2 weeks.
So we'll just have one on call, and
We'll have one on
if
call.
something happens, then they'll bring the other one with them.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's for 2 hours only?
Yeah, we have to pay them a 2-hour
2 hours.
call out.
Okay.
So it'd be 4 hours a weekend, 2 hours
Mhm.
Saturday, 2 hours
Mhm.
Sunday.
Mhm.
But I think even though we're gonna be paying him a lot of times for
Nothing.
nothing, the times that there is an emergency, it's gonna be worth it to us because, I called one employee, he said, man, Mayor, I come, but I've been drinking. I told him, thanks for being honest. I don't want you here if you're drinking. One was on the coast, one was with his family, 70 miles away. And they all felt bad on Monday, they all apologized to me. I'm so sorry I couldn't help you, Mayor. I would have been there if I could. And I know really they would have, but it's pretty stressful for me. So, and for whoever is, the last break before this one, Sylvia and Jameson stayed out with the guys until 10 o'clock at night.
10:30.
10:30 at night. I was out till 10 o'clock Saturday night. And so, and I got accosted by a guy that was not very happy. I'm really glad there was a car that drove by, a truck that drove by and said, Laura, are you okay? Because this guy was flipping me some crap. And so it's like, what do you want me to do? I mean, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm here. What more do you want from me, And so
And where was the officer? And did you call him?
I didn't. And the guy told me, call your cop. I said, what do I need to call the cops for? You just need to go home. Just go home. And I walked away from him, but, it's, there was the workers there, from the contracting company. So, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we will be implementing that back, just because we really need to.
I was gonna say something. How come we don't have the blinking lights right here on the stop sign anymore? I noticed that 2 times that I've stopped, they run the stop. They don't stop at that 4-way.
Well, I didn't realize that, but them actually, that's part of the Department of Transportation. Yeah.
That's not the first time that's happened. It's happened quite a few
Which one are
times.
you talking about?
But the
Right here,
blinking
where
lights.
the 4-way stop, they
Oh, uh-huh.
just drive
Oh,
by.
yeah,
They
we
don't
can do
even-
that. They've been doing it for years, huh, Vera?
Well, we used to have that blinking, and we don't have it anymore. What happened to it? Why did they take it away?
Well,
Still there.
it should be blinking. I'll go check tonight. If it's not, I'll make sure that we can get a hold of Department of Transportation so they can come fix it.
One on the east side and one on the west side.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about just a little bit is our dump day. We've done pretty good on our dump day. Didn't really have anybody say anything about paying the $5.
That's
Um,
good.
I had a
Yeah.
positive on Facebook, Julia.
Peralez.
Julia Peralez said, thank you, that the $5 was nothing.
No, it was well worth it.
Well worth it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I want to just say a special thank you to Judy and to Vera for going and helping me that day with everything at the dump day. Judy stayed the whole day with me, so Vera was in
I
and
was
out.
the best customer.
But it went really, really smooth.
Mary, get closer, she's saying.
It went pretty smooth, considering it's the first time we've done it this way. Like I said, nobody griped about it. I think the way we done our paperwork was easy enough for Jameson to be able to put it on bills and, yeah, I think hopefully we'll be able to do it again. It worked out really well. I mean, it stayed nice and clean. Everybody was we never had a big, huge line. So, I mean, it went really well. So I want to thank the employees for working on their Saturday and
Are you
for,
gonna have another dump day in the fall or?
well, we'll have to see how this one went.
Diana,
And
your microphone. Get closer. Yeah.
Diana was asking if we were going to have another dump day in the fall, and I told her that
Before
we just
fall.
Jameson's working on the figures, see where we're at, but I mean, I know this time cost us less than last time because people is paying that $5. Jameson, did you have
Yeah,
account?
we only had 51 loads and 14 tires. So we didn't bring in that much money, $278. So it's probably not going to pay for the whole thing. But it's better than nothing. But we'll see how much the costs come back at and see if it's worthwhile to do another one. I don't know how
Yeah.
much the dumping fees and all that will be for right now.
51.
Oh, 51.
Yeah, 51. We only filled 4 dumpsters. Well, actually like 3.5, huh? 3.5 dumpsters this time. Usually we fill about 7. I don't know if it's because, well, I know quite a few people that usually come to that dump had a big party in Yakima. Because I
There's a
was
lot of
literally
things
calling
going on
people
that day.
saying, hey, you've been calling about the dump. Today's the dump. Oh, we're in Yakima.
I
So
know.
I know quite a few people didn't come because there was a big
There
thing,
was
family
something
thing in
going
Yakima,
on.
but
Did we advertise it ahead of time?
Well, some of them did say they didn't know.
Well,
We didn't know, yeah, until that day of the meeting, we knew.
It was on the water bills for the previous month and it was on our reader board out here. And I did see that some people said that we should have put something on the Mapton residents page. So that's something we can do next time.
I did ask for one and I got it.
okay. And so I guess that, do any of you council have anything to talk about?
I just got one question.
Okay.
Has anybody heard anything about Community Day? I got a couple of calls today asking me. I
No
said, I
Community
have
Day.
no idea.
No community days.
There's
Next
not gonna
year.
be a community day.
No Community Days? Okay.
No community days. Okay. Well, I guess if that's it, and there's nothing else to talk about, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 7:30 sharp.